Hey guys, Martin here bringing you a Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to talk about the Peppy Gals banner that will be coming out tomorrow. When this video goes up, the banner is going to be out in, I think it's like 15 hours, because this will be going up at 2 PM UK time, and the banner should be out at 5. So we're going to talk about whether you should summon on this banner, does it have good value, who are the units, what are we going to see, and just go from there. So this is the version of the Peppy Gals banner that we got from last year. There are two versions of the banner technically, that's why the art is rotating, because this is one of those filler sort of banners that we used to get quite a lot for the different categories, where the first 3 multis on the banner are discounted to 30 stones. That's what this image here is. 3 times 50 to 30, so for 90 stones you can do 3 multis on the banner, and each multi is guaranteed featured. Now when we take a look at the featured list, obviously we had the 2 new characters, then I believe that most of the characters on here are just like the previous year's featured characters. So the new characters last year were Mai and Coquette, and then we had Mamba and 18 because they were from the previous year. Kawaii was from one of these banners. I'm pretty sure Margarita was, so they potentially were the year before Mamba and 18, which means that the lineup for this banner is almost pretty much guaranteed to be the 2 new units, Videl and Ranfan, and then the Tech Mai in Coquette, and then probably AGL Mamba and STR 18. The only random one is this STR Chi-Chi that's here, so this could be just another random Peppy Gals banner unit. Honestly, the best possible outcome when we think about like some of the newest random like banner unit Peppy Gals would probably be if it was the AGL like Bunny Bulma. That would probably add some extra value to the banner because she's a unit that's not as old as some of these other Peppy Gals characters. But as you can see, the banner only has 7 featured characters. Now this banner obviously released before Dokkan did pity or anything like that on like all these different banners, but I think with the guaranteed featured per multi and the fact that it's the first couple are discounted, I don't think that we will see pity on this banner. We also, I think, are unlikely to see the summon points be part of this banner, so these are all things that you have to bear in mind when it comes to the overall value of summoning on this banner or not, right? Because you're not going to be getting any sort of guarantee. Like if you get guaranteed featured, it could still just be one of these older like one of these older units every time, and there's no sort of pity or anything like that. Now we were talking about on stream, someone said that I thought the banner was double rates, but the 10% is like the normal SSR rate. I double checked by looking at the current GDC banners, so it's not double rates. So you literally just are getting, you know, your 30 stones, guaranteed featured SSR at the end. If you do get any bonus SSRs during the multi, then obviously that is good, like a good bonus, but you don't have like extra chances, as it's not seemingly a double rates banner. Now, obviously the first thing to mention here is that everybody is of course going to be able to use the free tickets that we got from Dokkan Day on the 15th. Hopefully you guys did those missions, because obviously they were only available for the 24 hours that Dokkan Day was live for. So you should, if you did all of those missions, have 14 of these tickets. That will of course allow you to do 2 7-unit multis on that banner. So for some people out there, you know, you're just going to pull one of the new units or both of the new units straight away. Now the 7 tickets won't be guaranteed featured. I mean, these free tickets are usually not even guaranteed SSR, so there is the possibility that you do your 2 7-ticket summons and you just get absolutely nothing. But at the end of the day, it's free summons. There's a couple of people out there that will, I say a couple, there'll be people out there that will be walking away with one or both of the new units from these free tickets, and so that's one of the reasons why these free tickets that they give out a lot more now are so good, because they're not always going to work for everyone. I mean, for me, when it comes to these free tickets, even going back to Golden Week when they gave them out for the Hit and Goku banners, like I have not pulled any new units off of these free tickets, but I've seen multiple people that have, including people that are regularly in my chat and stuff like that. So you can definitely get lucky off of these tickets. So this is obviously not a video. I made a joke about it before, but I still remember it now every time I make one of these summon or skip videos. The first one I made for a banner that had these tickets, somebody commented saying, well, of course we're going to summon, we've got free tickets. So obviously the question is not should you summon with the free tickets, it's should you summon with stones after you've used the free tickets. So, you know, the 3 stones, 3 multis, 30 stones each, pretty good, pretty reasonable offer. But the big question really is, what is the value of the units that you're potentially going to be getting, right? And so we've got the new Videl. I would say this unit, like if you don't have the new LR Gohan, Goten and Trunks, probably doesn't have as much value. Like she's clearly meant to be a support unit for that team, right? She's got damage reduction, she creates rainbow orbs, which is obviously helpful for Gohan, and then she gives 3 key and 70% attack and defense for allies whose name include Gohan, or Ultima Gohan or Great Saiyaman. So obviously she's going to be there to support the new LR. If there's a Peppy Gal's ally or a Gohan, then she gets these like slot 1 abilities, which is interesting because for the Gohan team, like you've obviously got the actual Gohan LR, especially as Goten and Trunks, or Gohan, especially when he's picked up the rainbow orbs, are definitely a better slot 1 option than her, especially given how hard some of the bosses are hitting in the current meta. And then she loses damage reduction with each turn passed up until turn 4, when she then can get a revive and revive with 4 HP and have a little bit of an extra buff. But it's kind of one of those things where the team doesn't have a revive, so she's not clashing with anyone else in that sense. But it just seems like, I guess they've done it so that you are guaranteed to get the revive, because she gets weaker and then will get killed and then you'll get the revive. But then post revive, she gets a bunch of extra stats. She gets the damage reduction that she lost back, and then she gets a guaranteed additional super and performs guaranteed crits. So, I mean, as a unit, if you do just end up using her as a floating support on the team, like, she's going to end up with relatively decent stats while still providing that support. But I guess one of the other big problems is with the Goten and Trunks and Gohan team, like in certain situations against certain events, you are just going to want to exchange into Goten and Trunks and use them because they do such crazy damage. So then of course when you transform them, I think they do still get, will they still get the support? I guess their name does still include them, right? So yeah, they'll still get all the support and everything. Normally I always like get confused about how these like in the turn passives work, but yeah, the card is still just called Gohan plus Goten and Trunks, right? So they should get all of these buffs. She should still get her buff with them on the rotation, so at least there is that. But I just don't think, like, if you have Gohan, Goten and Trunks, the build for their team that I would say is currently the best build doesn't really need this Videl on it. So I don't think summoning specifically to get her from this banner is necessarily worth it. And then when we take a look at Ranfan, she's basically sort of completely built around being on a Peppy Gal's team, which currently that team doesn't really exist. Like, I mean, with these 2 new units and the EZAs, and then some of the other units that we have, like, you can still make a viable Peppy Gal's team, I guess, but we don't have a 200 or 220 lead. I suppose there's the weird, actually there is the weird like Roshi combo where Roshi is giving 200% to Peppy Gal's despite not being on the category, and then having the rest of his leader skill be decidedly different. But Roshi is very, very outdated in terms of the current content, so it's an interesting one. She's definitely not like a bad unit, but with Peppy Gal's not really being a proper team at the moment, she's definitely not going to be as good as she could be if that team was, like, if we'd just gotten as part of the most recent celebration, I know it wouldn't have fit the theme, but just sort of as a hypothetical, if we'd gotten like a new 220 Peppy Gal's lead that was really, really strong, then this Ranfan would potentially be a very good option for that team and would be worth summoning for. But at the moment, it kind of feels like there's not a huge amount of reason why you would actually need this unit. Like, at least the Videl has that support for the Gohan team, or for Gohan specifically. Whereas, like, Ranfan needing to be sort of around Peppy Gal's allies and supporting Peppy Gal's allies and stuff like that, just very much feels like a unit that isn't really going to have much use in terms of like value. So again, she's not like a bad unit, but when it comes down to should you summon on this banner to try and pull units like this, then I would say the answer is probably no. We also have to bear in mind that we're coming to the end of the GDC. I know a lot of people are not going to have stones anyway, especially with the EX release and people who did summon for the Gohan, Goten and Trunks. But you also have to remember that we're going to have the Tanabata celebration coming up in September. And we've already seen from some of the stuff that's been posted in the news that like the memorial stones are coming in September, which is only a couple of weeks away. So Tanabata, I think for a lot of people is going to end up being a skip literally just because they don't have any stones. But that's going to be another Dokkan Fest LR and a Carnival LR. And that's going to be coming up in, I mean, at the earliest it will be in a couple of weeks time. I know a lot of people are speculating it's more likely now to be towards the end of September, but we haven't really seen a huge indication of exactly when it would be. And I think a lot of people are just hoping it would be end of September, so there's more time between now and then to get a few stones. But that's something to bear in mind as well. It's not just these guys on their own, but it's also what is coming out in the future. And I mean, I guess if you feel like you can spare 90 stones to drop like the 3 30 stone multis with the guaranteed featured, then go for it. Obviously these units will instantly get added into the general pool of every other banner, but that doesn't mean you will pull them, right? It wasn't until the 10th anniversary ticket banner with the free tickets that we were getting every day that just had like banner units and stuff, not any of the new crazy units. It wasn't until that 10th anniversary banner that I pulled my first copy of the Int Coquette from the previous year's banner. So well over 6 months until I got like a single copy of the one of the units from this banner. But as I say, whilst it's nice for the collection purpose to have all of the characters and everything, you're not really missing out on a huge amount if you don't get these units right now, I would say. With Videl especially, like if you don't have Gohan, Goten and Trunks, then there's really no reason to worry about wanting to summon for her. And then yeah, Ranfan, there just isn't really a good Peppy Gals team build at the moment anyway. So everyone's going to get the tickets. Make sure you use your free tickets and get your free summons. But other than that, I would not recommend summoning on the banner. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Obviously, if it turns out that we are going to get like summon points, I know that's another thing that makes it a little bit more of an attractive thing, but we've talked about summon points in the past. I don't think it's worth, because all you end up getting is tickets that obviously then allow you to do summons on a different banner. So spending extra stones now that you wouldn't spend in order to get tickets to summon on a banner that realistically isn't super crazy compared to some of the better things you could be saving your stones for, I wouldn't summon specifically for summon points, even if we are going to get them, which I don't think we will on this banner. But we haven't had the Peppy Gals banner since those points were introduced, because they weren't out last year, so you never know, maybe they will be available, but I still don't think it's worth summoning on this banner. But let me know all of your thoughts down below in the comments section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.